So today we're going to look at all the ports of the Donkey Kong original arcade game. We are going to look at all those adaptations on different computers and game console, and some of them are pretty interesting. We're also going to try to give some interesting info about the machines that this runs on and why those versions look differently, why are the graphics this way or that way on each of the machines. So yeah, let's do that. The first version, which was the arcade version. And this is the side of the arcade. And I'm going to launch the arcade. And I think I'm probably going to launch it with cheats on, because it's actually a hard game and I suck at it.
Wait, what is this thing that you're using? Launchbox? I never saw this in my life. What is this?
People don't see what I'm doing right now. Hold on. If I can make it work.
You seem to be failing at computers.
Yeah. I suck at computers, as you know.
Yeah. Good thing it's not your job or anything.
Yeah, I know. So have you played Donkey Kong?
I have played several versions of Donkey Kong. I actually played this one. So this little thing, I just remembered. I don't remember when, but I think my first actual exposure to Donkey Kong was on C64, I believe. It was a friend's house, and we were playing, now that it comes back to me, I think we were playing some 007 game. I forget which movie was at the time. There was a speedboat kind of race, and it was prominent in the game. You had to jump over some barrels or something. And then afterwards, we played a little bit of Donkey Kong. Mm-hmm. It was really weird. But then afterwards, I actually managed to play it on Atari 2600. And how I managed to play it on C64 first and then Atari 2600 is because back where I'm from, people didn't have Ataris 2600. So they had a lot of Commodores and ZX Spectrums. They were really, really popular.
ZX Spectrums?
Yes.
In Serbia?
Yeah.
Huh, interesting.
Yeah. I mean,
well, they were very popular everywhere.
Amstrad was also popular. I remember the, what was it, 646, I believe? That was the one with the 3-inch floppy, right? Yes, that was the one with the 3-inch floppy. That was the one that actually got the Amstrad.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Actually, Amstrad bought Sinclair.
I know. Yeah. There was a version of Sinclair.
That looks like an Amstrad.
Exactly,
yeah.
Yes. Well,
Not my favorite version.
Apparently so. Even Neil from RMC is not really super into it. What are you doing?
I'm looking for the cheats. I don't know where the cheats are.
Aha! It was a Zilog Z80.
Was it?
If you go to machine information, it will tell you. I'm assuming.
What did you say that?
Machine information? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
CPU,
yeah,
Zilog
Z80.
Told you.
Yeah.
No way they would put anything else in 1981 except this or a Motorola. I'm assuming Motorola was too expensive for something like this, so. Or probably somebody was going to tell me that, like, no, dude.
Yeah, but it has other features besides that. The sprites that it can handle.
Yes,
it can handle, was it 256 sprites or something like that?
I had no idea.
Which is a lot. And not all the machines that we're going to look at have these capacities. And we'll see that the versions are very different from
You're going to play this or...
Yeah.
Just do it live. Do it without the cheats. Come on. Just do it. Do it.
Lives. How does this work?
I don't know. I never saw this thing in my life before. Like, I don't even know what it is. Oh, it's MAME. Okay.
Yeah, it is.
There you go.
There you go.
6.
Yeah, 6 lives.
That's a cheat?
Should be.
All right. Hit it. You're going to play it.
All right. So first you have this this screen here. We might actually have been speaking. Oh, we suck at this.
Were we muted the whole time? Fist bump. This is amazing. All right. Thank God nobody's watching this. It would be really embarrassing if they were.
That is very embarrassing.
Can you, what are you doing?
I don't know, I'm trying to see how to... Oh, yeah, I need to put some coins in there. Yeah, there you go. Here are some coins.
Does it work on...
There you go. So we have that cutscene where Donkey Kong is just doing all that stuff here.
How high can you get?
And this is the baseline. This is
I don't
the
do drugs.
arcade version. I suck at it. I'm so bad at this game.
You're not gonna take the hammer? I thought the hammer was like the big thing.
I don't want to take the hammer yet. Not this one.
Dude, just up you go.
Controller is not super accurate.
Why would it be accurate? It's an Xbox controller you have.
I know. What's wrong with an Xbox controller? Ooh, that was close.
Nice. 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 Does it speed up?
No, it's not. That's a regular speed. Ooh, it's a
This-
hard game. It's really hard.
Well, you managed it, so there you go. You saved. That
I
wasn't
saved
Princess Peach.
Paulette. That's Paulette. That's not
Paulette.
Princess Peach. It's Paulette.
All right.
I had
Oh.
a cat named Paulette.
You had a cat named Paulette?
Yeah.
My cat was not named Paulette. That's a nice name, Paulette. I wish they kept it for Mario instead of Princess Peach. What does it even mean, Princess Peach? Ridiculous.
It doesn't make any sense.
Nothing makes any sense. What's happening?
The controller is behaving. Okay, I'll do the hammer thing. So you can grab the hammer and hit all those guys, and it lasts for a while. But while you have the hammer, you cannot
Jump. Or
yeah,
move. You can
can't
just
jump,
hammer.
You can only stay here. Oh, okay. There you go. So here the
What's,
goal is to remove all the rivets.
Oh, so Donkey Kong falls?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that's interesting.
So they
You
cannot
know,
go
I
over
really
the
think
holes.
that next time around you should do Manic Miner or something like that.
Yeah, Manic Miner was heavily inspired from Donkey Kong. And I like that game. Miner 2049 was nice.
Back? Ooh, nice.
Okay. There you go.
You're not half bad in this game. I don't know what you're talking
I'm
about.
terrible.
Really?
You want me to try it?
No. God, no, no, no.
Okay, so it had 4 levels, basically. We've seen the first 2 now.
Now we're going to level 3 because I
And
know my math.
yeah.
I'm good at math. I'm the best at math.
I mean, the goal here was to gobble as many quarters as they could. Shit!
Don't cuss.
So they get you back to the first level, and then you get to the third level. So you have to beat the first level. Oh shit!
Why would you do
It's
that? Why not
terrible.
jump? Why not jump?
I don't
It's
think
because
I'm
you
go-
have Xbox controller.
I don't.
That's the problem.
Yeah, maybe. Let me try the D-pad. Does the D-pad work? No, the D-pad doesn't work. I would have to configure it this way. Oh shit! Oh shit! Ah! All right, that's enough.
All right. Let's just not do this. You want to show this one? I'm actually quite amazed about this one.
Show it
this
to the
one.
camera. All right. So, you want to do this one now?
No. You do you.
We'll do it
You
later. We'll do
Yeah.
it later. All right. So, that's enough for this guy. All right. Where is MAME? Where is MAME? There it is. Okay.
Oh, nice.
So,
This is the first time I'm actually watching a ton of Twitch streams, obviously. This is the first time I'm actually seeing how it looks like when somebody streams. Now I understand why they all have macro pads and stuff. It's because
yeah.
of this thing.
Because, yeah.
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 Nice. Nice.
One day I will be good at this. One day.
I wouldn't keep my hopes up.
That day is not today.
You're super old. I'm too, but like you're very, very old.
So the same year that they released the arcade version, they released the Atari 2600 version, which is
This will be a
interesting
completely different
because
looking
the,
game.
the Atari 2600 was a very successful console.
Yes.
Very, very successful.
Very-
But it had some really strong limitations.
Very basic machine.
Yeah.
I mean,
Basically,
it's
it
what?
had-
It's
it
like
was a
this
6502.
big, right? Inside-ish, like this.
You mean the
The PCB, like the
the
main
PCB,
thing.
yeah,
It's,
yeah.
it's very small.
CPU
does everything.
It's a 6502 that drives everything.
Yeah.
It's actually, drawing every pixel on the screen. It's amazing. So spends basically all of its time displaying on the screen and not much time doing anything else.
Wait, how does it work with controls and it interrupts?
Yeah,
So writing games for that must have been horrible, actually.
it's horrendous. I've never written a game for that machine, but yeah,
For a
I can
reason,
imagine.
apparently.
Yeah, and it did have sprites though. Those were called player missiles. Yeah, the name sprite literally didn't exist. That hadn't been invented, but it had
Player
had
missiles.
sprites, and those sprites were taking the whole height of the screen.
I
So
guess
they were-
because they were
they were
the console
basically-
came out of Pong, right?
Yeah, so they were basically.
So that would make sense.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but they were basically thin
No?
overlays of pixels that were. So you had the screen background, which was called the playfield or something like that, and then over that you had some thin layers of sprites that were just one color. And when we look at the
How did they
implementation
then-
of the game,
okay.
it's very visible
Right.
what's going on there.
Show us.
Okay.
So now you're going back to Launchbox. What is Launchbox, by the way? No,
It's
seriously.
just it's a launcher for games.
Obviously, it's called Launchbox, but what does it do?
It you configure all your emulators in there and your library of emulators.
Oh, so it's like GOG Galaxy for emulators.
Yeah, pretty much,
Alright,
pretty
nice,
much.
nice. Oh my god, you have Epic Games Launcher installed on this.
Yeah. They give free games. I take the free games. Where?
What's Apple
Which
wearing?
which one is it? I think it's this one.
Yeah, it has to be still.
So the emulator is Stella. So let me switch actually to that guy. So yeah, the macropad here would be useful. Atari 2600. There you go. All right, Donkey Kong.
Okay, I shouldn't laugh. I shouldn't
Yeah,
laugh. We're
it is-
talking about a very
It
limited
is actually
machine.
the same game. And look at jumping is just he's just
He's traveling. He's traveling a
yeah.
lot.
And look at those sprites. Look at those sprites.
Mario is very is killing it.
And actually, the gameplay is amazingly similar. It is actually the same game, and it plays very similarly, but with technical capabilities that are completely different. I mean, and there you go.
How do you see the rivets are the small little like black squares,
Yeah.
rectangles. Sorry, they're not squares technically speaking. All right. Oh.
Oh!
Yeah, why would you do that though?
I don't know because I suck, and yeah, of course you have to restart. And look at the animations; they are unknown.
Yeah, I like that. There are no animation. They're just moving horizontally.
Yeah.
It's very funny.
Oh come on! You can go over. Oh, that-
Now I understand how
no.
sprites work because that collision detection was really nasty.
Yeah. So here you can see what's done with sprites, what's done with.
I like how Donkey Kong actually looks like a big blob. Have you ever played GTA Vice City?
Yeah.
You remember the commercials? Like the things that I would really like to do in Vice City was just drive around in the game,
Yeah.
listen to the radio,
Yeah.
and there is a commercial for a computer game system, where it says at one point, control the red square that is attacking the green square within the blue square. I was like,
Yeah, that's
yes,
pretty much it.
exactly.
You need to have some imagination, to
Yeah,
to
this is
translate that experience into what you're seeing on the arcade game. And actually, the gameplay, as I said, is really good. Given the
Yeah, it was a really very underpowered machine.
yeah,
Well, underpowered.
very much.
That's a wrong term to use, underpowered, because what are you comparing it with, right? Like, but it was not a very powerful machine at the time.
No,
Really wasn't.
really not.
Like nothing near what 8-bit home computers could do. Mm.
And the next version is the Intellivision version.
Intellivision. What's Intellivision?
Intellivision was a video game console from the 80s that not many people had. It wasn't that successful. I had one, actually.
Like this, the cabinet?
No,
Oh, okay.
that's just the box. But
You had the. Oh wait.
they would put the arcade cabinet on the box, but the console looked nothing like that. And
Wait.
it was a really crappy system. I mean,
Was it the 2600 competitor?
yeah, pretty much.
Oh, nice.
And somehow that version is worse. It's way worse. So
How can
let
it be
me see.
worse?
Oh,
I think it's
believe
Call
me,
M, no?
Believe me, it is worse. Which one is it?
Call M?
Oh, this one.
No, that one?
This one.
Oh, God.
Oh, come on. I had fixed that yesterday. That was working yesterday.
Yeah, it works on my machine.
Yeah, I know. I just keep the Intellivision version.
Yeah,
anyway,
it's crappy anyways, yeah.
It's horrendous. It's the worst by far. Then we have the ColecoVision. Do you remember ColecoVision? Did you have that?
No,
So
I don't remember that at
ColecoVision
all.
was a pretty nice console, actually, that was compatible with the 2600. So there was an adapter that you could buy. And Atari was apparently very pissed about that.
Oh,
so you
that's
would
the
plug
one.
adapter,
Yeah, that's the
and
one
then
I
you could
remember from
plug
some.
the Atari cartridges into that console. But it had its own version of Donkey Kong, and I didn't own this console at the time, and I was very jealous of people who did, because that version is really... Oh no, that's Amstrad.
I mean,
Never mind.
my cousins had an Amstrad. This brings back
That's the
memories.
We'll do the Amstrad version. Donkey Kong. There you go. And let me switch to that guy here.
You definitely need the macro pad for this.
Oh yeah.
We should build one.
Yeah.
Like actually build one with Arduino Nano and put like construct a PCB and
Yeah,
stuff.
we will.
I mean, I don't know anything about electronics, but you do. I can just sit back and drink and know things. This would help. Get it now?
Yeah.
Oh, imagine that! If the program is not in focus.
Look at that guy.
Oh, but this looks pretty nice actually.
It looks pretty nice, except I can't jump for some reason. Oh, there you go. It's B, not A. And for some reason it doesn't stop easily, but you can see that this machine is actually pretty capable, right?
Wait, this looks very,
looks
very
very
close to
similar to
the
the
arcade
arcade.
version. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, looks way
I don't
better.
know why you can't
Try
climb
the
that
D-pad?
ladder. I tried. It doesn't work. Oh, wait. Oh, let me try the other stick, apparently.
So wait. So this thing was a direct competitor to Atari 2600, or was it?
It was more expensive, and it was a little later. Oh, no.
Well,
Yeah, try the keyboard.
Whoa. So.
No, you need to get to the...
Yeah, well, it's.
Doesn't work. Yeah.
Oh, you can't because I gave you
Yeah,
that
it's
60%.
misconfigured. Anyway.
Anyway, never
But
mind.
yeah, this is interesting because it looks pretty good. It has some multicolor sprites and some monochrome ones. The gameplay is exactly the same as the arcade, pretty much.
Well, all of them play
it's a
exactly the same as arcade.
Not all of them. You'll see.
Oh, okay. Well, all of them up until now.
But that's a very good version, and I was so jealous of that.
What was the year?
That was in 82, I believe.
1982.
Yeah.
No, 2082.
No.
All right.
So yeah, based on the real arcade game. Yeah, sure.
Switch it.
Oh, you knew this version? Oh yeah, I need to switch it.
Yes, this one I think is the first one I played, but my memory is very, very hazy. You know what with age and stuff. So I think that was the one that you did.
No.
No.
There you go.
Oh, nice.
F1. What is F1?
Function 1. Yes, this I remember.
So the
This
Commodore
one is-
64 had very large sprites, and Donkey Kong here is one of those sprites.
Yep. But it looks pretty good, actually, right? Like, it looks
It
very similar to
does.
the arcade.
The pixel size is a little strange.
Oh, also, the beeping.
It's a little sluggish. It doesn't behave like the arcade version. You can see some sharing in the Mario sprite. It's not perfect. It's doing a good job.
You're so judgmental.
It's just not the best version. But if you
I never actually owned a C64. I only played it at my friends' houses.
Yeah.
So
Who didn't? I didn't have one either. I had an Atari at the time. It feels sluggish. It feels slow.
yeah, but it looks better than the Atari 2600. Though I'm comparing apple
Oh
to
yeah,
oranges,
of course,
obviously.
of course. But the price of the machine is also not the same. So most versions actually didn't have the 4 levels that the arcade version had. Only had 3 of them. Yeah, I don't like the hammer actually. Because it takes too much time.
But
before I-
how will you cosplay Thor?
That's a good point.
Oh, do you know that in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, I actually did not get the Thor's cosplay thingies?
Why not?
I got bored of the game.
Oh, yeah, I can understand that.
Oh, look, they just flip it horizontally and it drops.
Easy.
Easy. All right. Okay. What's next?
And the music is good, too.
Yeah, well, the SID chip.
The
Yeah.
Commodore had an exceptional
Sound chip.
yeah.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
All right. So next we have the Apple II version.
I never owned or used Apple II. Do you know that the
Apple
first...
IIs were so expensive.
Yeah, but you know that the first Apple device that I ever used was that Mac they gave us when we were both working at .NET.
Oh,
And then
really?
yeah, like I never use it. Like I used some Macs passingly, right? Like I knew what they did, but I never actually owned one or used one. It's very weird.
Okay, so I already have Donkey Kong loaded. There you go.
This looks like crap.
It does. It does. The sound is just terrible. Oh, wait.
Oh.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Why does it
This is
sound so
terrible.
bad?
And, okay, so it's not sluggish. It's actually super fast, but look at what's happening to poor Mario.
Why?
Okay, I will tell you why.
That sounds like...
Look at how he
it has
jumps! Look at how he jumps! He goes up, then right, then down. This is a completely different game.
But why is...
Okay, I will tell you why it looks so bad.
I mean, he obviously has some background, right? Which kind of like goes over the
that
back...
sound. Ugh.
Why, could you please stop the sound now? Please?
Okay,
Please.
I will just
Yeah,
stop
just
the
don't
whole
rape
thing.
our ears anymore, man. I like my
Yeah.
ears. All right, why?
Okay, so here is the reason. The Apple II didn't have sprites.
Oh, I see. So all of these are essentially objects. They paint the background and put it in the color of the, let's say black or something.
No, it's worse than that.
They don't just paint pixels
So you
inside?
have very limited resources here.
Okay, it's
Okay.
Apple II, right? So
So if you had enough resources, what you would do is what you basically described. If you want to paint an object over a background, you paint the background and then you paint the object on top of that.
Yeah.
And then when you want to move it, you repaint the background over the object
Yes.
and so on, right?
Yep.
But that takes time and
Time is precious.
memory, and so on. So
Okay.
what do? You XOR the sprite over the background.
You what?
You XOR it. Exclusive OR.
Oh,
So
that's
you-
why
you-
it's
you-
shitty when you
you-
move over
exactly,
the
you
background.
get different colors.
Okay.
So you basically
Shit.
make a logical combination of the background and the sprite, and you get something that looks kind of like the object on top of the other, but not really. But the nice thing about it is that you just have to draw it again, and you get your background back, and you can draw the next one. So when you have very limited resources, that's what you do.
Lovely. No wonder it looks shitty.
It looks shitty. It's not a good version. It's really not good. It's terrible.
Oh, but here we have the worst one.
Yes.
I mean, is this the original IBM PC? Because it's gonna be sucky.
Oh yeah, it's
Ah, shit.
this is not going to be good. Let me see. I think it's
MS
here.
DOS. Wow, is this thing written in Electron?
So
Do you have
DOSBox.
a
So let me just switch to DOSBox here. MS DOS. There you go.
Do you
were
have a
saying.
Do you have a joystick?
I do not have a joystick.
However, you can again. Yeah,
Thank you. Do I want full color? Full color.
Please do.
The full spectrum of colors.
Is it
that we
CGA
have.
or EGA? What is it? Is it Hercules?
It's the
No,
full color.
Okay, full
All
color.
of the colors.
It's gonna have two
of the
colors.
rainbow.
Let's go. Oh, is this CGA?
And it has the shittiest colors.
It's CGA.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the purple
Yeah.
CGA thing. Oh god.
Okay, so
Get it.
let's choose one player.
That's
Not,
the
not,
that's the
the,
system
not the
beeper.
right notes. Not the right notes.
This doesn't look so bad. It just looks
Yes,
very
it
like.
does. Look at the guy. Look at his teeth. And
Look.
oh,
No,
it's,
no, you need
it's
to probably. There you go.
this is
You
a
have the wrong
nightmare.
keyboard for this, though.
Yeah,
You have
yeah.
the wrong keyboard for this. I'm trying to. Wait. Ah, there
Have
you go.
you seen how he jumps? He just goes.
So the colors look very 80s kind of cyberpunky, synth wavy kind of thing, right? Like very
Yeah, so
neon kind of going on there, like the
you know,
purple
it's-
and the blue.
You
and
have red, green, blue, and the combinations of those. So you get
yeah, and
cyan,
CGA gives you
magenta,
pink.
and- yeah,
This is magenta.
very
no, this is
natural
pink.
colors. No, this is
This is
supposed to be
magenta. This is pink.
Those are the same colors actually. It's
Really?
just that you have the yeah,
Alright.
he didn't have that many colors. Are
It
are
did
you
not.
kidding? Two
No,
different
well,
shades of
All
pink.
right, IBM.
It's full color. The colors are full.
Absolutely.
somehow, you know?
They're full of it. But the IBM PC was not a gaming machine, right? Like we all know that.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, if you were a gamer at those times in the 80s, the PC wasn't.
Yeah,
wasn't
you would
your
probably
first choice.
like you would either take an Amiga, you would take an Atari, you would even still stick with C64 depending on when in the 1980s, right? When did the PC? When
yeah,
did the
well,
Commodore
you've
5120?
seen the Commodore 64 version. I mean,
It's pretty nice.
it was way better than this.
TI-99. Never used this
So,
thing. This is gonna be
That
very
was-
bad.
That was my first computer.
Yeah, I know. You told me this repeatedly.
Yeah.
That explains a lot. It also explains why you're bad at computers. No, I kid. I joke. TI-99 has its place in the history of computing for a good reason. But,
Absolutely.
I never used it. We didn't get it back. I don't even know anyone who owned it. I don't think. Not that many people when I was growing up owned computers because we were all dirt poor. So, but
So my. yeah.
this looks very.
Hold on. There you go.
You really need a macro pad.
I do.
I'm
need
just
a
saying.
macro pad.
I'm just gonna say it.
I absolutely need a macro pad. All right, so that doesn't look good.
It doesn't look bad either.
No, I guess. So if you didn't load a cartridge,
You know
then
what
have
actually?
basic
You know what actually hits
Commodore.
me now when you're showing me this, is the fact that we used to stare hours upon hours into this and just look at the text. Like I am honestly like I started wearing glasses when I was already in my 20s. I'm very surprised. I'm very surprised that my eyes didn't melt out. Like literally, like we were staring at things like this. Like, okay, so this is T99. Never used it, but I stared at ZX Spectrum. I stared at like crappy 14-inch CRTs that were not even flat on my first PC. Like those are all very bad. And remember
also,
back in the day,
this is the maximum resolution. Those are the
like
pixels that
now
you,
imagine
that
that on a TV, right? Like on a CRT scan lines in, like you have it on a nice LCD here, so it's kind of like clearish. Like, how the fuck are we still able to see at all? It's very surprising.
And,
I'm just saying.
Just
I'm
the
put
way
it out
the
there.
screens were working. I mean, come on. We're talking about an electron cannon
Yes.
shooting electrons on
Yes.
a
Onto
screen that was
onto
made of
a phosphorus
phosphorescent
thing to light it up.
and then transforming the electrons into light. You were just
When I was a
shooting
kid, I didn't
electrons
know
and
that.
stuff.
The only thing I knew was don't throw anything at the TV. It's going to implode and it's going to be very bad.
Yes, yes.
Although only
We
recently-
were always
Only recently have I learned of an existence something which is called the implosion band on CRTs.
What is that?
Apparently, I don't know. I've watched this on one of the many YouTube videos that I watch. Oh, this is nice actually.
It actually looks pretty good.
Yeah,
And
for
it
that
plays
machine,
pretty good.
it looks pretty good. Yeah, it looks better than the PC version. And this is a way more underpowered machine than the PC. Was it?
It had sprites.
So basically, what you're telling me in retro gaming,
Oh, shit.
sure. I think the goal is for Mario or Jumperman or whatever Jumpman. Yeah, Jumperman. He would be in a jumper. The goal is for him to get hit by the barrel.
Is it?
Yeah, that's why you're amazing at this game. Anyways, I'm pretty sure this sarcasm is lost on everyone. There we go.
I suck at this. So not a bad version.
Not a bad version. I never used TI-99. I don't even know. So what you're telling me, basically, in retro gaming, in 8-bit era, if the computer had sprites, you could actually make a decent game.
Yeah.
Decent looking game.
Yeah.
Gameplay and all of that was not
You could
really.
find a way. You could find a way. So the Texas Instruments had monochromatic sprites. So Jumpman here is made of probably two sprites on top of one another.
Oh, okay.
And then it had it didn't have a true graphics mode. It had characters that you could redraw. You could define what the
So this is all basically highly elaborate ASCII art.
Yes, exactly.
Whoa.
Exactly. So you would let me show you again if I can. Why doesn't this work?
Enter. Press enter to start. I mean, it tells you on the screen RTFM, man.
Yeah. So
Or RTS.
all the background
RTS.
here is made of characters, and that means that there are some constraints in terms of colors that you can display. So they've been super clever in the way they've laid
So wait,
everything out.
the
so
scaffolding is also characters, right?
yeah.
So it's basically T and the Tetris sign. Well, it's actually the Tetris block inverted and recolored. Is that what it is? Like, look at this little thing here. It's like that Tetris thing.
Oh
Right.
yeah. Yes, oh yeah. Yeah. Now that you show me, I understand what you're saying.
I'm like beautiful mind. Remember that movie, right? I'm basically on my way.
But anyway,
getting
it was a
committed.
very limited machine in terms of graphics, and they did an excellent job with it.
No, it's really nice. It's really nice looking, actually.
Yeah.
Way better than the PC version, which is. Did I even use an original? I don't think I ever used an original PC. I think the first PC I ever used was it 386, I believe, ish.
Probably.
What are we doing? Oh, Atari XE.
Yeah, Atari XE and Atari 8-bit in general, and that is the version I played the most when I was a kid, because that was my favorite machine. I loved that machine.
Is that this machine?
I made a
No,
game
it's
for
not.
it. I know it very, very well. I know how it works exactly.
Did you make a Donkey Kong clone
no.
for it? Oh,
I
too bad.
didn't. I made an adventure game, but thank you.
That's okay. It's important for the window to have focus if you wanted to respond to command. I'm
And
just saying.
it's- Did you notice the
horrible.
thing with the barrels?
They're very fast, and they.
It's
Why do they
very
blink?
fast-paced. So what I told you about the Apple, about the way they program
Is that the same thing?
sprites. It's the same thing. So they have sprites here, but they're kind of limited. So Mario is a sprite. Well, it's actually three sprites for the 3 colors that he has. But the barrels are drawn on top of the background, and they are drawn with the XOR trick. It's a pretty nice version. It plays really well. It's fast. It's hard. And I suck at it. Yeah, and so here they are using a graphics mode that has 4 colors and that has pretty wide pixels. So it's not the game that exploits the hardware the best, because actually the Atari 8-bit hardware is pretty impressive in what it can do, in particular in terms of color. So they are making an okay use of it, but the game is nice. It plays nice. I like that version. Maybe because I played it so much when I was a kid. But
Obviously. How long did it take you to collect all these emulators and stuff?
some amount of time.
Okay. All right. A passion project then. All right.
Kind of. Yeah, I'm sure. All right.
Unsaved work in the emulator? What?
Yeah, you can save. That's what's nice with emulators. You can actually save, just dump the memory and just recover exactly at the point you were. Next one. Amazingly, it took them years to get a version running on one of the Nintendo consoles. Maybe because the console didn't exist when the arcade game came out, but anyway, the NES version is actually pretty nice. So let's look at that. So,
Nestopia. I should probably take this and try to play Mega Man.
Alright, so let's open Donkey Kong, if I can find it. I have a number of games on this original edition, USA. There you go. And this looks amazing. So it doesn't have the cutscenes for some reason, but it looks pretty much like the arcade game.
Yes, it does.
So obviously, this is a machine that is designed for gaming. It has sprites, it has everything it needs to give you. I mean, the colors are a little downgraded from the arcade version, but it looks pretty much like it, and it plays pretty much like it. There is no dirty trick with displaying the barrels or anything. It looks great. And it plays exactly like the arcade. Definitely one of the best versions.
Yes.
If only I could play.
I tweaked my back. I can't play, so otherwise I would show you what a pro gamer does.
Of course
I'm good
you
at
would.
games.
Of
I'm
course you
really
would.
not. I tried to play Ghost Runner the other day. Nearly destroyed my mouse. That game is
So Amstrad.
Amstrad.
That actually probably deserves an introduction because that
Amstrad
was a
is-
very, very popular computer in Europe.
Yeah, but it wasn't so popular in the US, right?
No, not in the US, by
Yeah.
any stretch of the imagination. It was very popular in Europe, and it was kind of a crappy machine in terms of design. It wasn't.
Technical design, though.
Yeah, technical design.
Visually, it was pretty good.
Exactly.
It was pretty nice.
So it had some good games because it was so popular. It was cheap, right? It was a
Yeah,
cheap
it was
machine.
cheap.
So it
Except
was
remember that the first version, right, 464, came out with a cassette drive.
Yep.
The usual for the time, par for the course. The next one, 646, came out with a floppy drive, which had a 3-inch disc.
Yes. Completely
three-
proprietary.
Completely proprietary,
Yeah.
and it had double-sided discs, which were actually double-sided. You had to actually
Yes.
turn it around in the floppy
Absolutely. Yeah.
for it to be able to be read, because I think it only had the head on the top, right, or something.
I'm looking for the emulator for that. I don't remember what the emulator is called.
I mean, you just started it before, right? No, this is MSX.
Yeah, I did, didn't I?
No,
No.
It's called WinApe.
WinApe? Oh, that's the one.
Yeah.
Why is it called WinApe? That doesn't make any sense. But
Windows Amstrad Plus emulator. There it goes. It says right in the title bar.
you're right. Okay.
Yeah.
That kind of makes sense, I suppose.
You need to. Yep. Okay, now 128K. So yeah, okay. So it's Amstrad Plus.
Donkey Kong disc. And what do I need to do? Do I need to reset it?
I
made some notes for that.
You did?
think.
I don't forget.
Oh yeah, there you go. Cat.
To
see what's on the disc. And then you run. Kong. No need to close the quotes. There you go.
I was about to say the quotes are a string, right? It's basic.
Yeah.
Oh.
So the music is very badly reproduced here, but graphically it's actually pretty
pretty
good.
decent.
Yeah.
I remember Amstrad games. They were pretty decent games, actually. Some of them.
Yes.
There was that weird one. There was the Barbarian, the famous Barbarian. Remember that one?
Yep.
Where you could chop off someone's head,
Yep.
and everyone would try to do that.
So look at the barrels. You recognize that trick? And,
Yeah.
and Mario, the Amstrad didn't have sprites as far as I know. Maybe wrong on that, but it looks like this is just our old XOR trick all over again. Which is fine. The gameplay is actually pretty fine.
You should have jumped there.
It
I'm
looks
just saying.
it looks a lot like the arcade game, but not exactly. I mean, there are some subtle differences. The font is actually the same, which is something most of the other ports haven't done, which is funny.
That is true.
Um,
The level is also pretty much the same. Some of the other
Yeah.
ports changed the not the layout of the levels per se,
the
but
ladders
like
sometimes.
yeah, and stuff like that.
I didn't want to take that hammer. So it's a very, very decent version. Yeah, so yeah, the Amstrad was basically a computer that was built, with mature technology, and it just used what worked. And it does work.
CPM ran on it.
Hmm?
CPM ran on it. You could actually run CPM. on
Probably,
it.
yeah.
And then Amstrad bought Sinclair computers,
Yep.
which produced Spectrum, and then Schneider, I think, bought Amstrad. And so I remember that at one point, like my cousins had an Amstrad 646, but it wasn't. It was Schneider Amstrad 646. So it was a later revision when Schneider already bought Amstrad. It was still the same machine, it was just branding on the box.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So still the same machine, still those crappy like 3-inch floppies where you couldn't find them anywhere.
Yeah,
These
those,
days,
those
they
floppies
apparently-
were really problematic.
These days, they apparently actually go for a significant chunk. The Gadget Retro UK dude, the proper gentleman, he mentioned that they go for like tens of pounds or something.
Just
Insane.
one disc?
Yeah, it's insane.
Wow.
Like, what's that? Oh, 7800. This one I never heard of in my
Yeah,
life.
it's a very obscure console that was basically the failed console from Atari, and must have missed. Oh, load RAM file. There you go.
Yes, you were. It's the same music sped up. I wonder if it's speeding up because of the. What CPU did this have?
That's most certainly a 6502.
Okay.
So it has proper sprites, but the resolution is just not good.
Yeah, it's pretty crappy. Although
Yeah.
graphically, like in terms of how the sprites look and the gameplay, they look it looked pretty
Yeah.
much the same as the arcade one.
But, this was, as far as I know, that was after the Atari 8-bit computers, and the Atari 8-bit computer version is actually better. So I don't know what happened here. It's just disappointing, and that console in general is disappointing. It's not good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Game Boy.
Yeah, and There were actually other versions of the game on other machines, in particular Nintendo machines after that. But as far as, real ports of the arcade game go, this is it, basically. We've looked at them all.
So now it's changes to the formula, I'm assuming?
Yeah, so two things happened.
So first of all, this guy looks exactly like Mario now.
It is Mario, right?
No, but I mean,
they're assuming that it is Mario.
Yeah. But the
Nintendo
previous
is telling you that
previous
we
ones
call that
were
guy Jumpman, but it was Mario all the time. So two things happened. First, they included the actual arcade game in several games, such as Donkey Kong 64 and stuff like that. So you could actually play an arcade inside of the game, and the arcade inside of the game was the actual arcade game.
Oh.
So I don't count those as real ports. They're an emulator inside of a game.
Oh, so it's like you can play in Doom Eternal. You can actually play Doom 1 and
exactly.
Doom 2.
Same idea.
Although these were actually different versions.
In Day of the Tentacle, you could play.
The remake?
Maniac Mansion.
Oh no, the original one. Yes.
Maniac Mansion, which was the game.
Yeah.
Same idea. You find an emulator in the game or a computer in the game, and you play that. And then you have all the other Donkey Kong games where actually Donkey Kong is the character you play instead of Mario.
They switched it
there
around.
were other games, but we are done with the actual ports of the arcade.
So we're done. That's it.
Well, no, because we're going to look at this one.
Okay, we'll look at it.
So what's interesting about this one is that it's kind of a transition. If I can find... Okay, Game Boy. There you go. So let me load an emulator, and then we'll also switch to the... Because we have that machine here. But... open recent, it's probably in there. Yeah. So that's Game Boy Color.
I only ever played the original Game Boy, the white one, the 8-bit one. Well, yeah, that's the original one, right? Like that's
I have
the
two
stuff.
of those in the. Yeah.
I only had one.
Well, I had one. Geraldine had one, so
now you have two.
We have two.
The funny part is those things don't have backlighting. Did you have the famous little contraption?
Yeah, but I lost it. I don't know where it is.
Yeah.
So it starts like the arcade game, but it has something like 200 levels, something like that. So the first levels are actually the same as the arcade, more or less. I mean, it's the same shape, basically. They even have the same cutscenes. Plays the same. It's a little smaller because it was a smaller screen, right? But it has proper sprites. It's pretty good.
Try to complete this level, please.
Yeah.
There we go. This one is not so hard.
No, I just suck. All right, and then so you do the first four levels. The first four levels are they put it in a different order. You haven't seen that level yet, but that one exists in the arcade game. It has conveyor belts and so on. It's hard.
What's the umbrella for, though?
Those are bonuses.
Yeah.
But once you've passed those four levels, then you have more... Go ahead. You have more levels, and you have something like 200 levels.
Yeah.
Something like that. What's nice about it is that you can get extra lives pretty easily. You can continue... And the levels, I really enjoyed that game. I remember playing it for a very long time on the Game Boy. And the levels after the 4 arcade levels are actually pretty good. They have some really nice new gameplay additions. It's a very good game.
Yeah, I was always...
Let's face it, the arcade game is very limited. I mean, those 4 levels, they are just... Yeah... You just play them over and over, and...
He ran away. Oh, man.
God. That Donkey Kong. 75 meters.
75
How high
meters.
can you go? So this way, we've seen all the levels from the arcade game.
Oh, okay, that was really stupid of me. I suck at platforms, man. But I'm good at video games. Believe me. I'm really not. You know, for the amount of time I'm playing those video games, I really suck at them very badly.
Oh, that was nicely done.
Why is this thing not moving around? What is
I
it?
don't know why you're upside down. I have no idea.
Ah.
Oh.
They introduced a jumping thingy
Yes,
majingy.
that was in the arcade game.
All right, I'm just done. I'm done. I'm done.
Game over.
Yeah.
Yeah, so actually this one we can see for real on the original hardware. Let me switch to that guy here. And
Take it.
so Game Boy Advance from back then. And the Donkey Kong game.
All right, let me stick it in.
Go ahead. Yo.
Oh, sorry. Like this, right?
Yep. And then you have the power switch here.
It's going to boot it, and then I can't play it because I would have to play it like this. Do you know what I'm Let's see. Let's just
Yeah.
try to do it. Let's just
so
try to
it's
do
the
it.
same game that we just looked at.
Push start. Where the start?
The screen was terrible. It wasn't. It didn't have any backlighting at all. So you really had to play in very favorable environments.
Ah.
But yeah, this is the actual hardware.
Clear. Okay. Yes.
Why do you want to? You don't need to. Yeah. So go under one of the.
And then start. Select
Or
A.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So see, it had lots of extra levels.
Yeah, this now looks like something out of.
And this is actually closer to Donkey Kong Jr. than Donkey Kong original. You have all those vines hanging from the top that you can climb onto. And you can jump off the vines
Yeah, and then get killed by
and get killed. Yeah.
by a bird. This is not a bird. This is a bat. I'm stupid. In my defense,
And if you grab both vines, you can climb faster. But yeah,
how do you grab both ones?
just move left.
This reminds me very much of Super Mario World on the original Game Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, would you look at this? Oh,
You died.
did I?
Oh no, you didn't.
Never mind.
Yeah. And we have another spectacular
Oh, this is good.
hardware
Now this one I remember. I just remembered it when you actually showed it to me.
in the box.
I played this. But I was already like when I first used this, it was already shown to me as a curiosity, because it's from what
82.
1982, right? I suck at cameras. 1982, yeah. So you open it up. This is
Yep.
one of those like,
Game & Watch games.
yeah.
Movable.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, there you go.
And then
And so this one really relies on very simple hardware. I mean, the screen is not really a screen. It's not a dot matrix screen. The screen's small. It's LCD elements that are fixed and that are just turned on and off.
yeah. And you don't really jump left or right. You just jump,
Yeah.
and then the thing passes by
Yeah.
you.
So the gore here is a little different given the specific limitations of this type of hardware. So you have to avoid the barrels like in the original game. And once you're on the top platform, there is a lever that you can push that triggers a crane that's on the top right side of the screen.
I'm trying to
And then you
actually-
have to jump on that crane. And that removes one of the hooks that's maintaining the platform that Donkey Kong is on. And once you've removed them all, he falls, and then you start over.
Probably faster, right?
And some people, like my wife, have are extremely skilled at this game.
Yeah, I'm not. We used to. There were a lot of these kind of game systems, quote unquote. Very, very. I'm using the
Yeah.
term very liberally with like tennis and stuff. How do you, how do you turn it on?
Go left.
Left. Okay. Let's do this. Leroy Jenkins. Come on, Leroy.
Leroy Jenkins.
Yeah, we're so old, man. We remember Leroy. Though I felt easier when I watched CV11's video from. All right, never mind. When I watched CV11 video for Duke Nukem Forever,
Yeah.
because they put a Leroy joke in there. Because when it was made, Leroy joke was like popular, and when it came out, it was like what 10 years later, and Leroy joke was already like gone. Didn't really exist. But this is an interesting piece, right? I had a ton of these, like again, motorbikes. You have to like race and avoid other motorbikes. You
Yeah.
had Frogger.
Yeah.
You had all of the things because it was very easy to actually mass produce these things because
Yeah.
it's so simple, right?
Yeah.
There was no sense of achievement to it, right? Like many of those would just increase the speed by
Yeah.
which the obstacles would appear and stuff like that, and that would be it.
Yeah, it can get really crazy.
Yeah.
When you get good at this. Yeah. Yeah, and this little machine actually, if you want to buy one today on eBay, it's probably going to cost you between $150 and $200.
This car's
Depending on
probably
how-
like $20 back.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's
Game
a,
and watch.
It's a very nice.
Why game
piece
and
of
watch?
old hardware.
Because
because you could actually use it as a watch and as an
Time.
alarm clock.
Oh, see.
There you go.
I don't know how cameras work.
You do?
I don't.
Oh, you don't.
Of course they don't.
That's what I thought. Yeah. So.
Is
that's
that it?
Yeah.
That's the whole thing.
That's the whole thing.
All right, let's go back to playing Doom Eternal now then.
Okay. That's a better game, I think.
Yeah. Hey, did you play it?
Yeah. It's not
good.
my thing.
What?
Nah.
I'm sad now.
I'm playing Control currently. It's a relatively old game from Remedy, the people who made Max Payne.
Yeah, it's constantly on sale, which tells me that it's probably not good.
No, it's actually it
however,
has a very
it's
interesting story.
probably better than Assassin's Creed Valhalla
Yeah.
because it ends at some point.
It has a story.
Has a beginning, the middle, and an end.
Yep. Yep.
I'm very upset about that whole AC Valhalla thing. Really, really. Like, not a lot of games I ended up doing. Can you please just end? Just end, please,
Yeah.
please. Like, I
pretty
can't do this anymore.
I did the DLC.
Oh,
So the DLC, so Wrath of the Druids, something like that. It's interesting because it's like a smaller version of the same game. So they have the same mechanics. You know, you have another order of.
so they
people
basically
to
sold you a
kill.
smaller map for $30.
Yeah.
Well, not you because you bought the season pass thing.
Yeah. So I paid for it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, less than
but-
$30, but
Yeah, so it's interesting because it gives you an idea of what the game could have been if it hadn't been designed this way, you know, to add a lot of grind and so on.
it's so grindy.
It shows you how the game could have been if it had been a 30-hour affair, like it should have been.
It's so grindy, unnecessarily grindy. It's
Yeah.
like it's not even fun. At some point, you're just sitting there and like, I can't. Anyways, that's it.
Yep.
We're through shitting on Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Are we? Are we
I
really?
think we are. Yeah.
No.
Well,
We should never be done shitting over
maybe
that thing.
Maybe we can talk about Assassin's Creed at some point. And
Like games?
yeah.
I loved the first one. I remember the
Yeah,
first
exactly.
one. It was
a
really
a
good. The
very
second
game.
one,
So how did we get from that to this?
though, what I really liked was they still do environments, especially urban environments, extremely well.
Yeah, and
They really do that well.
They are very beautiful games.
Yes, they're very beautiful games.
Yeah.
Except I don't know why it's called an Assassin's Creed because I was basically
That's
just going around. Also, it's not very stealthy if you go around with a two-handed spear and a two-handed axe.
well.
And
Okay, so do you really want to play a stealth game with a Viking?
No, but this is why I was so confused. Like,
Yeah.
why would a Viking want to be?
It's a Viking
Also, it's
simulation.
very-
you just pillage villages and.
It's very
and-
interesting
and
to me that-
monasteries, which is nice. Oh, we haven't talked about politics.
Let's talk about politics some other time. I tweaked my back. What is there to talk about, really?
Nah, everything is fine.
Oh, I
the
sent you-
world is better and better. and
Yes,
so on.
absolutely. Was it Pinker? Pinker said
Yes.
that if you exclude all the actual crimes, the crimes are
Yes.
the crime rates are getting better.
Exactly.
But did I send you the whole sidewalk thing from Amazon? You have a ring, which
Oh,
is
yes,
now
yes,
going
yes,
to
yes.
be able to
So-
piggyback off of other people's Wi-Fi. I love
I
that.
had to install the Alexa application
To turn that off?
to turn the setting off. Yes. So I had to install an app for a device that I don't own. Of course, because I mean, come on.
I cannot think of anything wrong.
To change a setting on a device that I own. So yeah, I want to take that ring and just crash it and.
You could
buy
probably
something
build,
else
if you
or-
need a
or
surveillance
build
system,
something,
you could
yeah.
probably build
Yeah,
something
yeah.
better.
Yeah, I probably should.
With like Raspberry Pis and stuff.
I probably should.
I mean, I'm pretty
Limited
sure.
time.
But you're gonna retire.
I have
soon
to
anyways.
install emulators on my computer.
Yeah, but you're gonna retire soon anyway, so you could do it when you're retired.
Yeah,
I'll never retire.
that is true.
I'll be a wage slave for the rest of my life. So
There you go. We've talked about politics.
there you go.
That's that.
Politics. What's politics without mentioning Marxism? Anyways, I'm done.
All right. Thanks, folks, people watching this. I guess.
Maybe somebody watched it at some point.
I think we're done. Bye.
I could not guess, by the way, where your camera is.
Yesterday we looked at a number of machines. We looked at the TI 99, we looked at the Commodore 64, we looked at the Atari 2600, the arcade game, and so on. And I was unable to make the Intellivision version working, which wasn't a big deal because it's arguably one of the worst versions of Donkey Kong. But, well, you know, let's try it anyway. So let me switch to Intellivision here and remove this. All right, so the first thing you notice is that the resolution on the Intellivision is really poor. It's not very good. Not very good looking. Even the title screen is just the title screen, no images, nothing. So let's try to see if we can run this. All right, so 1 or 2 players. Let's pick 1 player, level 1. And that sound, terrible, terrible. So the Intellivision had a very special controller. The controller was not a joystick, it was a disc. And that disc had 16 directions, which was more than most joysticks at the time, which had 8. But still, that doesn't make it good, right? Look at that. It looks like nothing. Just one color in most places. The levels look really bland, really low resolution. It's hard to control. It's not, I mean, the jumping is not great. So you can see that this machine has sprites, but they are not great sprites. There is almost no animation except for Jumpman. You only have 2 of those enemies on the screen. Oh! I think I'll reduce the volume of that thing because that was hurting my ears. Anyway, not a great port, so we didn't lose much by not showing it yesterday. But yeah, you know, for the sake of completion, that was a version that existed. Let's shut it down. All right. Let's move on to the next one. And the next one is the Commodore VIC-20. So what's a VIC-20? This is a Commodore computer that was before the Commodore 64, that was less expensive than the Commodore 64. So a lot of people, a lot of friends that I had at that time couldn't afford to have a Commodore 64 and just got the next best thing from Commodore, which was the VIC-20. And the VIC-20 was a very limited machine. But because of the Commodore clout and how successful the Commodore 64 had been, there has actually been a number of pretty good games developed for the VIC-20. Some of them adaptations from Commodore 64 titles, some of them original titles. So let's switch to that guy. So that guy is here, VIC-20. Oh, I think I need to adjust the window on that thing. Give me a sec. That can't be it. All right. Oh, interesting. So it's actually cropped. All right. So the first thing to notice here is that, well, the resolution is not that great. Even characters look crappy. I don't know how many columns that is, but let's find out. That's a machine that I never owned, so oops. Looks like 22 columns. That's very, very limited. All right, so I think we have the cartridge here. Which one is it? I think it's this one. Yeah. Oop. Set. Oop. Not this one. There you go. All right. So yeah, the screen has moved. So let me just focus on that guy. There you go. Make it a little bigger. All right. So that was also developed. It's also a port that was developed by Atari. And all right, let's try it. So the music is horrendous. It's much slower than the original. The resolution, of course, is not great. But all right, so how do I move this? Ah! Oh, that was weird. I don't know what happened here. You know what? One thing that's interesting about this version is that it actually has all 4 levels of the original. And if we let it run, we'll just see those levels. I don't need to play it. It doesn't play great. It's fine, but why would you play this? So that's the second level. And yeah, you can notice all the dirty tricks that people have been using in those limited machines to make a game like Donkey Kong Run. The animations are very minimalist. That's the spring level. And the last one is the factory level. But yeah, it's an interesting version, but definitely not you'll want to play. It's actually very difficult to find. It took me forever to find that version online. The cartridge images for VIC-20 are not very common. And yeah, this is the factory level, the last one. So it had all 4 levels, which isn't the case of all the ports. So that's notable. That's a nice effort that they made here, especially as this machine had no memory whatsoever. So pretty good. And the last version that I want to show is the ZX Spectrum version. So the ZX Spectrum was a Sinclair machine, Sinclair being a British company that was headed by the famous Lord Sinclair, and they basically made 3 machines. The first one was the ZX81, which was a machine that you could build all assembled, or you could actually buy the kit and build it yourself. And recently I saw on Neil's stream on the Retro Cave that he actually received a an original kit in the box, and there is a question whether he should leave it unassembled or actually assemble it. But it's a machine that's dear to many people in Europe. It was fairly limited, though, and so one thing that is interesting is the way graphics worked on that machine. So the way it worked was that, a little like the TI-99, you could only use something like characters. So it had something like a graphics mode, but you had those 8x8 pixel blocks for which you could only define the foreground and the background color. And if you look at that image here, you can actually notice where those blocks are. And so they're able to make a color image from characters and 8x8 blocks and creative uses of color. But when we start the game, which I will do in a second, when you start the game, it becomes very, very obvious what's going on. So there you go. So the sound is terrible. The sound is absolutely terrible. But look at that. Look at that and notice how the ladders, for example, are kind of cropped, and how everything is just one or two colors at a time. And even Jumpman himself is kind of split in two with he's taking the color of the background, and he has his own color where he can afford it, but yeah, you can see him take the color of the background. So yeah, it's a version that really shows the limitations of the platform. So I'll try to not to reach the end of this one, but I doubt that I can, because it's actually fairly difficult to handle. Oh, and the Spectrum also had a horrendous keyboard. One of those, not even membrane, but it was like weird soft plastic stuff that we would press, and bleh. Didn't like it at all. But I'd like to own a Spectrum and restore it sometime. Anyway, MSX was this attempt at coming up with a home computer that would be a standard, and Microsoft was involved in the creation of that. And basically, the MSX computers were mostly Japanese built 8-bit computers. Were they 8 bits? I believe they were. Not entirely sure. But anyway, with Microsoft software running on it in particular, the BASIC and stuff like that. There were two generations, MSX1, MSX2, and they were actually pretty successful in Japan, I believe. And yeah, let's look at what that version looks like. Let me switch to MSX. So let's just restart that guy. So the MSX computer is booting here. And first thing we notice is that this looks familiar. This looks exactly like the ColecoVision version. Wonder what this is about. Oh, well, yeah, that's what it is. That is exactly what it is. Wait. No controls? How does this work? It's terrible. Anyway, yeah. That's pretty much the ColecoVision. So it's a good version. It works, but we've seen it already. Up. And we're done. All the versions of Donkey Kong this time. I think. Let me know if I forgot one. Again.